All right. We're on. We are on. Hey, just waiting for someone to chime in. Yeah, I'm working on this last minute item. Hey, DD Band. Okay, you know the drill. Since you're here, mic check, audio check. Mic check, audio check. And now also we got to do video check. Hey, mystery_flower. Okay, mic is good, audio good. Hey, Kyra. How are you? Kyra 12. VI. Okay, video's good. Video's good. All right. What is going on? Why is this taking forever? I'm spinning up a server right now because we're going to need it. The server I actually had originally apparently died, and I actually need to give you all a real IP to actually go and play with. This is taking forever. No, still going. I'll have to let it go. This is strange. Never seen this before. It's just hanging on here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay. You can just say K instead of AK. Hey, Sam. How are you? Hey. All right. I think I don't need this anymore. I don't need to play with that. Well, hello, everyone. 4:30 now. Today is episode number 3, season 7. I'm Ming Zhao, Associate Teaching Professor at Tufts University. And today's topic is going to be on reconnaissance. Reconnaissance, or recon, basically it boils down to information gathering. Hey, Fleabag. Hey, Malaga. Hey, Malag. Hey, Jake. How are you? Thanks for tuning in today. Okay. Network reconnaissance, also known as recon, information gathering. It's the topic. The idea is certainly not new. In fact, it's been used for many years, especially in the context of military. Hey, Rose Phoenix, how are you? Okay, does anyone here have a military background? Anyone here? First thing I want to introduce to you all is this model, better known as the cyber kill chain. For literature purposes, this is important. So the whole purpose of the cyber kill chain is this. It's really a process model for identification and prevention of cyber intrusion activities. And the kill chain, of course, has a lot of, derivative from, takes a lot of cues from the military. The model identifies what the adversaries must complete in order to achieve their objective. So the cyber kill chain can be used for both good and bad. For good, this is exactly how the attacker thinks. I mean, you get into the mindset of the attacker. If you are an attacker, if you're trying to break into a target or system or systems, this is generally the tactics that you use. Step number 1 is reconnaissance. Harvesting email addresses, conference information, etc. That's step number 1. Step number 1 is reconnaissance. So, look, if you're going to be, if you have a target, when you have a goal, all right, you just never ever just go guns a-blazing. You never ever do that. It's like when you're building a house. When you're building a house, what's the first thing that you want to do? You got to have a blueprint. You just can't just build a house right away by taking out all the tools and vehicles. No, you got to have a plan. Okay. Step number 2 is weaponization. This is you can use exploit, backdoors, delivery. Send a weaponized bundle to the target by way of phishing email, a USB stick, the typical bad avenues that you're going to actually have your victim actually do something or fall for. Step number 4 is exploitation, exploiting a vulnerability, a security weakness to execute code on a victim system. Number 5, installation. And this can be like usually malware of some sort on the target. Step number 6 is once you install the malware, once it is executed on the target, you gotta have a command and control for remote manipulation of the victim. And step number 7, actions on objectives, which is intruders accomplish the original goal. This usually includes like things like lessons learned. Lessons learned. What could you do better? Maintaining further access. Pivot. List goes on. Okay. So the cyber kill chain is a 7-step process. And if you hear the term cyber kill chain, it's going to be the same 7 steps. Number 1 is going to be reconnaissance. So it's always step number 1. This is the focus of today. So I want to ask each and every one of you here, when you hear of reconnaissance, of course there's 2 ways. There's high-tech reconnaissance and low-tech reconnaissance. I guess I can ask, what are some of the methods of reconnaissance that you know of, or you probably have used? And I guarantee you, I bet you each and every one of you here have done some sort of reconnaissance before. Come on, tell me. So what are some ways that you have done information gathering? Low tech, high tech, doesn't matter. What are some ways to gather information? Anyone? Methodologies of reconnaissance. With the recent MGM Resort cyber attack, which one would it be? Well, you're asking a question on how they did it. Well, did you know? What was step number 1? Did anyone actually hear, what was the first avenue to attack MGM Resorts? Actually, you can find it. You can Google this. Go to someone. Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Mystery_flowers. Perfect. Go to someone's webpage and find their email. Wonderful. What else? What are the ways you can do reconnaissance? There's so many different ways. Come on, think. You've all done this before, so in some way, or some shape, way, or form. Come on. Go to someone's webpage, find their email address. Sure, done that. Back in the good old days, when search engines were not prevalent, if you want to get information about someone or something, you just do what they call dumpster diving. Go into trash cans, see if they left any sensitive information. Talk to someone on the inside. Yep. All right. So Sam, how do you actually even do that? No, ICMP flood attack. No. This is you're getting way too complicated. We will talk about ICMP flood attack later, but how do you gather information? How do you gather information about a target or targets? Whether it's a computer system, whether it's human. Come on. Talk to someone on the inside. If Sam said, talk to someone on the inside, you can even go deeper than that. How do you actually get to know someone on the inside? Sniff a network, too complicated. You can do that, sure, but too complicated. Yeah, I like that one. Read someone's password off of a sticky note, sure. But I'm actually really, really surprised in a bit that no one have ever done a Google search before. One of the best reconnaissance tools out there. Google search engines. You get so much information. Mystery flower. Yes. So, LinkedIn. Huge reconnaissance tool. So many people love to post everything, especially like work information about LinkedIn. In fact, LinkedIn was the first avenue how the attackers got into the hackers the attackers broke into compromised MGM. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. LinkedIn, information gold mine. What other places are information gold mines? Come on. Information gold mines. What else? Social media. I mean, you got LinkedIn, you have Facebook. Yeah, exactly. Other social media. By the way, I do notice there is like an 8-second, there's probably like an 8-second delay in terms of me speaking and you getting the information. So there's an 8-second delay in terms of liveness. Yeah, social media, Facebook, absolutely. Absolutely. Huge avenues, huge ways to get information. Okay. So I have a target here. I have a target which we're going to use. We're going to use a few targets, but one of them we want to get in particular. I just spun this up. This is an IP address at 34.72.205.216. So that is a target. Now I want you to ask, what are some information that you want to get about this target? Here's a real target for you. 34.72.205.216. Tell me what information, not how, what information you want to gather. Okay. MAC addresses. Ooh, I like Rose Phoenix ones. Open ports and services. That's a huge one. What else? Come on. Give me, if you're going to be attacking 34.72.205.216, you will eventually in this course. What information do you want to gather about the target? Tell me all the information that you can gather about this target. Domain name. Okay. Even better, ooh, I like that one. Geolocation. Yeah. What else? Owner. You can go further on Ballow times. Owner. Administrative contact information. Email. Physical addresses. Oh yeah, you can get that information. What else can you also gather? What else can you also gather about this target? Love the geolocation one. What else? Just a couple more things that you can think of. Anything else you want to add? I'll put running software. Why running software? The reason why you want to look for running software, okay, activities. Running software, e.g. if any older version of software being used, okay. Anything else? What other information? I don't know what SYN is for in terms of information you want to gather about this target. What else? Activity, any users? Usernames? Okay. But yeah, the big one that you really care, we really care, is Rose Phoenix is, here's a target. What are the open ports and services? Yeah. Username and passwords? Sure. Anyone else? Anything else? Okay. Let's stop here. What we can definitely do today, MAC addresses we can be able to do. I mean, you just follow you can do the packet trace for this. MAC addresses. But the one we really want to focus on today are open ports and services. And we can look at domain names. Geolocation. Owner. Administrative contact. Running software. Yeah, we can do any activities as well too. Username, possibly, possibly we can get that. So we're going to actually, the double asterisk information we want to gather about this target. Let's do that right now. The owner administrative information, you already should know how to do that one. Go to terminal, go to who is, punch in the IP address of 34.72.205.216, and what you're going to get is, there you go. Okay, there's an IP range, the net handle, parent. The organization is the Google IP address. Owned by Google. Org name, contact info, physical address. You have some email addresses here, telephone numbers. Yep, you got some information. So we got this one. So this is done. We got these addresses. So yeah, I mean this target right now is looks like it's on the Google infrastructure, Google Cloud. Okay. Oh, here's another one that we forget. This is kind of obvious. It goes without saying, but we really, really, really need to make sure about this. Is this target up and running? It doesn't make sense if we're talking to a target, we're dealing with a target that does not exist or that is not up and running. We got to actually make sure that this target is up and running. Okay, so we need to take care of, why don't we take care of this one first, because this is not only super obvious, but also very important. Let's start off with checking if this target is up and running or not. Is it alive? Is this target really alive? And the best way to see if a target is alive or a computer is up or running or not is to use ping. P-I-N-G. Man, P-I-N-G. Ping sends what is called an ICMP echo underscore request to network host. Okay? So the whole idea of ping is a very simple protocol. It only exists in layer 3 of the OSI model, on the network layer. Not on layer 4 of the OSI model, layer 3. So the only thing that you will see in ping are source and destination IP addresses and the MAC address, and that's it. How ping works is very, very simple. Is anyone here familiar with submarines and sonars? Anyone here? How does sonars actually work? Anyone? Does anyone know how sonars actually work? I'll fire a Wireshark just for the heck of it. Okay, explain a little bit how, how does sonars actually work? I'll fire a Wireshark for a second. Anyone? Chime in. Feel free. I don't need this anymore. Then bingo. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to stop recording this. But yeah, Ramza said it sends a radio wave and see if it bounces. Yeah, that's it. And Hungry Jack also said the same thing. You send out a signal, and it hits something that comes back. That's exactly how, and then you pick up the return signal. Ronnie Squared said the same. I said shoot out waves and listen for reflected one. All 4 of you nailed it. That's exactly how ping works. Ping works the exact same way. It sends an echo. It sends what is called an echo out. And then you hope that there is a reply. If there is a bounce back, okay, if there is a bounce back, a return signal, that's called the reply. That's how the ping protocol actually works. So how ping works, all you need to do, I'm just going to capture the packet just to let you know. Yeah, continue without saving. And I'm only going to filter a packet by ICMP, also known as ping. Interesting here, I have a bunch of, I don't know why this is going on, but I can also filter out ICMP and IP.addr equals 34.72.205.216. Oh, that's not working. Do I need a double equal here? Hey, there you go. There we go. So I'm going to show you what it is like when you try to do a ping for 34.72.205.216, which is the IP address of this target that we're trying to find out information about. So here's my terminal. And I have Wireshark running in the background. So I'm just going to filter out the traffic. I'm only going to see ICMP traffic with the IP address with 34.72.205.216. All you need to do to ping a device is, that's it. Bing! And okay, this sounds good. This looks good. So the ping does is it's just going to send the echo a few times, and you get the equal amount of replies. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 echoes sent out the 34.72.205.216. And then I would have 7, I should get 7 replies as well. Then take a look. Request, 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 request. Oh, yeah, a few more. Okay. Okay, so here we go. What's TTL? Time to live. Time to live. TTL stands for time to live. But you take a look at the packet. So I sent out a ping from my IP address to 192.168.102.44 to 34.72.205.216. Okay. Request, reply, 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 request, reply. Okay. Now you notice that each and every ping packet, what I call ping packet, you see the MAC addresses. You only see the source and destination, like the IP addresses, and that's it. ICMP message protocol, and you see timestamp information. Any data? A little bit of data. But ping packets are really small. Notice that you will not see anything on layer 4. You will not see anything with like port numbers because ICMP is layer 3 only. Okay? You won't have to, it doesn't do anything with port numbers. Okay? What is the packet loss in this case? Why didn't it all return? Yeah, that's correct. Rose Phoenix caught it. Rose Phoenix definitely paid attention. Rose Phoenix was really paid attention because I controlled C. That's correct. 8 packets transmitted, 7 packets received, 12.5 packet loss. Yeah, absolutely nailed it. Okay. Mirza G, yeah, I cut the cord pretty quickly. So yeah, 8 packets do we have 8 packets transmitted? Yep. Request 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should be an 8 one. Yep, 8. Yep, and I only got 7 replies because I cut in the middle. Yep. But here's the thing about ping. That's it. That's all you're going to get. All you're going to get with ping is request and reply. Very important that, again, ping or ICMP is on layer 3. There's no other information. No port numbers, no TCP flag, nothing. The whole purpose of ping in plain language is you're just going to see if a computer is just up or down. That's it. In this case, 34.72.205.216, it's up and running. We know that because we got all this reply back. We got 7 replies. This is good. But this is all you're going to get with ping. You're not going to get geographical information. You're not going to get any information about port numbers because, again, ICMP and ping is only layer 3 of the OSI model. Nothing to do with TCP or UDP. Okay? So you can't ping a port. I repeat, you can't ping a port. Ping can give a hint to the OS by TTL. Hey, Ersy, how are you? Yes, it could. It can do that as well. What's the purpose of using ping? That's it. The whole purpose of using ping is to see if a computer is up or running or not. It's a diagnostic tool. That's it. And I said that a few times, Mala. To see if an up, yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is done. But that's the problem with ping. It's very limited. You can also, ping is available on most computers built in. So if you try to ping an IP address that has nothing running, or an IP address that has absolutely nothing, like 192.168.1.3, you're going to do request timeout. There's no device on my network with the IP address 192.168.1.3. Can I check if my internet has packet loss using ping? You could do that. Yes. Again, so Netflix and butt, ping is a diagnostic tool. That's one of the reasons to use ping is to identify, well, is the connection between point A and point B, is it really flaky? So the answer to your question is yeah, there is. Okay, and I've done that before back in the days. Yeah, you can check if it's packet loss, because sometimes when you're on a really flaky network, you get 64 bytes, and then all of a sudden it stops for a bit, and then comes back up again, and that's when you know that the connection's a bit flaky. But this is it. But ping is a diagnostic tool to check if your computer is up or running or not. That's it. It doesn't give you any more information than that. So, where are we? So, okay, that's good. What about open ports? That's a big one. What are the services offered by the computer? Well, we kind of did domain name. Kind of did that. You know, you can get that with who is in a bit. But what about open ports and services and geolocation and running software and potential usernames on the system? What could there be? What are the tools that's out there? Let's talk about let's talk about open ports and services. Let's deal with that one. Okay? So, what are the open ports on 34.72.205.216? Or any IP address? Well, I want to take a step back before we get to the real important software, the tool that we're going to use today. One idea is, can you actually just make a connection to the IP address and to any port number on that IP address? And the answer is yes. And I want to introduce you to a very called the Swiss Army knife. It's called the Swiss Army knife of networking, called Netcat. Okay? So Netcat, I'm going to show you this little cheat sheet here. The cheat sheet is wonderful. So what Netcat is, if you have a Linux system or Mac is built in, if you have Windows, there's a Windows equivalent of Netcat that's called, what is it called? Netcat for Windows. I forget what it's called. Is it Ncat? It says Ncat. Yeah, you have to download it on your own. So there's a Wikipedia entry. Netcat, often abbreviated to NC, is a computer networking utility for reading from and writing to network connections using TCP or UDP. Okay? This command is designed to be a dependable backend that can be used, okay, for scripting. You can use this for scripting purposes. You can also do port scanning. and port listening as well. We're using Netcat. Okay, so on Mac OS it is man NC. If you do a manual of NC or Netcat, it's an arbitrary TCP and UDP connection and listens. Okay? The Netcat utility is used for just about anything under the sun involving TCP or UDP. It can open TCP connections, send UDP, listen on arbitrary TCP and UDP port, do port scanning, yada yada, the list goes on. I'm gonna clear the screen. How do you use Netcat is on the most rudimentary level. Here it is on the cheat sheet. How you use Netcat is NC space the target IP address space a port number. That's it. What it will do is just connect to an arbitrary, it will just connect to a port number. That's it. If you want to make your own computer as a listener at certain port numbers, you can do that as well too. It's NC minus L minus P. Okay, so who is? Hold on. Is she here? Is he here? Hey, Rose Phoenix, give me a port number that you know of. We only give you the IP address of a target. We don't know if the target is running what ports and services are open on this 34.72.205.216. Rose Phoenix, give me a port number that we want to connect to. What are the good port numbers that you know of? Give me one. So I'm going to type in that. I'm going to just 34.72.205.216. Rose Phoenix is alive. So someone just give me a port number. Okay, I can't see. I can't see. Just give me a number. Just type the number. Just give me the number. It looked like your message on chat got 22. So D-Band, okay, DD-Band said 22. So you want to make a connection when we know that. Okay, we got 72. Let's do 22 first. So what's going to do? This is going to be a Netcat connection. This is going to be we're going to make a connection to 34.72.205.216 at port 22, which is SSH. Let's see what happens. Hey, we got something back. We got some data back. Hey, looks like it's SSH. We got support. We got the thing. We got the software version. OpenSSH 8.4 Debian 5. Okay, that's pretty good. And it's waiting for some other command. Oh, that's it. I hit the enter key again. It said invalid identification string. But that's okay. That's not bad. We got some data back on 22. That's a good sign. So what we just did was we just made a connection to 34.72.205.216 at port 22. Really what it is this is SSH. And yes, and sure enough, when we made a connection to the IP address at port 22, we got some data back, SSH 2.0. Okay. So here, I'm actually I still have Wireshark here, so I'm going to do TCP and IP address equals 32. Okay. Look at that. All right. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to copy all this. I'm going to restart, do another capture. So I'm just going to show TCP packets that contains the IP address 34.72.205.216. But this time what I want to do is go back up and I want to go to port Mystery Flower 72. Let's do that. Let's see what happens when we try to make a connection to 34.72.205.216 at port 72. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. 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 That's not good. We got nothing back. And this is not a good sign, because you take a look at the one Wireshark, you see the connection I made, and you see the SYN here, to 34.72.205.216. But you know this is a retransmission, and that eventually this is gonna fail. There's no sync ACK. That's not good. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna give Mystery Flower, Rose Phoenix another chance on. Now this time around, Rose Phoenix. Can I clear? I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna clear out Wireshark, but this time, okay, so now Rose Phoenix is, she said port 80. See what happens. See if port 80 is available on 34.72.205.216. Target. Boom. Sync, ACK, and ACK. I'm going to hit the enter key again. Well, you see there's a sync, ACK, and ACK. That means the handshake was it. And you know port 80 is a web server, so let's do a GET request to the web server and bad request. But this is a great sign. First of all, you see sync, you see the handshake here, sync, ACK, and ACK. Then you see the HTTP header. Looks like there's a web server here of some sort. Let's do this again. Now let's go to port 2220. I don't know what that is, but let's find out. Let's make a Netcat connection to 34.72.205.216 at port 2220. Now, you see a whole bunch of retransmission. That's a bad sign. I mean, there's nothing on port 2220. No. Anyway, but you may be wondering, okay, so far we're just typing in, there's a pattern, NC, the IP address, and a port number. You may be wondering, is there a way to get a list of all the open ports and services by way of, let's say, a loop in Netcat? And the answer is yes. Hey. And this is on that cheat sheet, is a TCP port scanner. Will it ever stop? Yeah, absolutely. It will. After like some determinate amount of time. Usually like 30 seconds to a minute, 2 minutes. It depends. So, Chris, that's a great answer. Yeah, that's a great question. Okay. Hey, Hungry Jack. So, you may be wondering, so this is also to Chris the Finder. So right now I'm just controlling C out of everything. Because yes, it will quit eventually. It will time out on its own. Stop the connection. But what you can do is you can do this, the TCP port scanner. And what it does is port scan an IP address is NC minus NC, and then a minus V, and then a minus N, and then a minus Z, and a minus W1, a target IP address, and then you specify a range of a start port and an end port. And what this does is attempt to connect to each port in range from end port to start port on IP address, running verbosely. So that's a minus V flag on Linux or minus VV on Windows. Do not resolve domain names, which is the whole purpose of the minus N flag, without sending any data, which is a minus Z flag, lowercase z, and waiting no more than 1 second for a connection to occur, minus W1. So this may be what you're looking for, Chris, if you don't want to do a control C. So now I'm just going to go 34.72.205.216. I'm just going to go port 10 to 9999. So what this is going to do is this is going to loop through and see, it's going to make a connection to, going to see which port numbers from 10 to 9999 is available. Ready? And enter. Oh, damn. I'm an idiot. I forgot the flags. Minus V, minus N, minus Z, minus W1. There you go. On the cheat sheet. There you go. What the hell? V, N, Z, W1. Well, that's weird. Well, that kind of drags. Okay. What happened if I try to do it on, I know I have I can try this on my home network. Well, that sucks. It works on my home network. All right. So it just looped through all the ports that I specified. Yep, we got something. 443. So on a computer I have at home at 192.168.1.8, 443 has seceded and a whole bunch. But that's it. I mean, it's just a nice loop. 21, 22 seceded on 192.168.1.8. Okay. Hungry Jack 101. Is there a way to show what the ports correlate to, or do you have to sift through Wireshark? Let's answer that question right now. What if I told you that we're going to do something better? Forget Wireshark for now. Forget it. Also, forget Netcat. Netcat, as you can see, is a great tool to make connection. You're going to need it, by the way. You're going to need to use Netcat. Strongly recommended that you use Netcat for one of the questions on lab number 3. But what if I told you that, yes, there is a way, and a lot quicker, perhaps a lot quicker, more efficient, that shows not only what ports correlate to what, but also what ports are open. None of this connection refuse stuff that you have to sift through. No. I want to introduce you to arguably, it's definitely my favorite tool of all in terms of security. It's right up there with, like, if not has surpassed Wireshark, because it's relatively simple to use, and it usually gives back pretty damn good information just like that. And that's called the Network Mapper. Nmap. Nmap. Nmap.org. Yes, nmap.org is the official website. Nmap was created by my friend Gordon Theodore, in the 90s. Nmap stands for the Network Mapper. Well, Nmap, the Network Mapper, free security scanner as well. Even a Wikipedia. I want to give a shout out to Fyodor. When was it written? What year was it? 1997. Okay, Nmap is used to discover hosts and services on a computer network by sending packets and analyzing the response. Okay, Nmap is generally fast. It's also written in C. And then it moved up to C and C++. Okay, so you may be wondering, like, how famous Nmap is. Well, let's talk about the movies. Okay, so what movies have Nmap in? Matrix Reloaded. Anyone ever seen Matrix Reloaded? Here at the scene when Trinity actually was breaking into, I think it was a power plant at that point. Yeah, and she used Nmap to get all the open ports and services. Ocean's 8. There it is. Snowden. Dread. Asylum. Fantastic Four. Use Nmap. Or for a variation of it. Who Am I? Born Ultimatum. Oh, Die Hard 4. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. G.I. Joe Retaliation. Listening. The Abduction. Game of Death. Battle Royale. I haven't seen any of these recent ones, yeah. Okay. Nmap, however, is not built into most systems. You have to install it on your own. If you're on Mac OS, to install Nmap, the best way to install Nmap is, if you're on Mac OS, it is, and you have Homebrew, brew, install Nmap. The way to install Nmap on Mac OS is using Homebrew. Brew, install Nmap. I already got it. Nmap 7.94-1 is already installed. It's up to date. I don't want to reinstall it. If you're on Windows, to install Nmap, just go to download. There you go. You can just download from Windows. Nmap is free and open source. And again, just a friendly reminder, like any other security tool, Nmap can be used for both good and bad. Nmap.org is a fantastic document. Okay, we're going to refer to the documentation quite a bit. So I'm going to clear the screen and man Nmap, because I installed it. Here it is. Nmap is the network exploration tool and security/port scanner. Nmap is an open source tool for network exploration and security auditing. It was designed to rapidly scan large networks, although it works fine against single hosts. Nmap uses raw IP packets in novel ways to determine what hosts are available on the network, what services are available. So now we can even do application and service detection, software detection, what operating system that they're running as well, what kind of packet filters, firewalls are in use, and other dozen characteristics. Okay, while Nmap is commonly used for security audits, many systems and network administrators find it useful for routine tasks such as network inventorying, managing service upgrades and schedules, and monitoring host or service uptime. Now, one of the things about Nmap is, how to use Nmap is, at the most rudimentary level, is very simple. It's just Nmap, IP address, and that's it. But Nmap is really, really rich in terms of features. It has so many flags that you can use. There's so many different options. Okay, so I'm going to clear the screen. We're going to do OS detection a little bit later on. But to use Nmap, and this is for Hungry Jack, is Nmap and just followed by the IP address. So I'm going to do an Nmap of 192.168.1.8 first. I know the server at my house is up and running, but I want to see what services, and port numbers are available, are open on 192.168.1.8. And the reason why I start off with 192.168.1.8 is because I know it's on my local network, and it's also fast too. It does take some time to get the results if it's a target that is on the internet, like the 34.72.205.216. And here we go. Hungry Jack. So, as you can see, here is a report for the target 192.168.1.8. You see the port number and the protocol, open, and FTP. Port 22 is open, that's SSH. 53, TCP is open, domain, DNS. Yeah, there's a DNS server at 192.168.1.8. Port 80 is open, got an HTTP server. Port 443 is also open, that has an HTTPS server. Port 8200 is also open, that's a TrivNet. I wonder what that is. So, what information do you want to know? Anyone? So what does it mean by open? One of the common questions I ask all the time are the different types of states. Port number is self-explanatory, service is also self-explanatory. So I hope this actually answers your question, Hungry Jack 101. But what in the world does state means? Well, let's take a look. I'm going to go to the documentation. Port scanning basics. Here's the link. Port scanning basics. While Nmap has grown in functionality over the years, it began as an efficient port scanner, and that remains its core function. You've got to know that Nmap at the core is just a port scanner. The simple command Nmap followed by a target, which you did scan 10,000 TCP ports on the host. While many port scanners have traditionally lumped all ports into open or closed state, Nmap is much more granular. It divides ports into 6 states: open, closed, filtered, unfiltered, open or filtered, or closed or filtered. Okay? So what does open mean? Open is an application is actively accepting TCP connection, UDP, yada, or SCTP association from a port. Finding these is often the primary goal of port scanning. Security-minded people know that each open port is an avenue for attack. Hint, hint. Attackers and pen testers want to exploit the open ports, while administrators try to close or protect them with firewalls without thwarting legitimate users. Open ports are also interesting for non-security scans because they show services available for use on the network. So your goal is always to find open ports. Closed ports is accessible. A closed port is accessible, but there's no application listening on it. If a port is closed, move on. We don't care. We care about the open one. For closed, no. Filtered. Nmap cannot determine whether the port is open because packet filtering prevents it from probe from reaching the network, reaching the port. Unfiltered means the unfiltered state means the port is accessible, but Nmap is unable to determine whether it's really open or closed. Okay, only the X scan, yada yada yada. Okay, and then there's open filtered and closed filtered. So, Hungry Jack. Now you actually see the list of open ports and services and corresponding services. Oh, by the way, we're done with this. We can use Nmap for this. We're going to do that for Nmap, and we're going to see geolocation finally. So now you see the list of open ports and closed ports, the open ports and services. What could you do? Now you know that the IP address 192.168.1.8 had port 21, 22, 53, 80, 443 available. What can you do? I'll give you a hint what I'm thinking. Well, I see HTTP and HTTPS open. Well, you see HTTP and HTTPS exactly. So one thing that you can do, fire up a web browser, go to http://192.168, and you get a web page. And there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Like there's a voter database, there's a deliberately vulnerable web application, another deliberately vulnerable web application. You get the idea. Yeah. And now you also notice that there is also an SSH port. You can do SSH, some username at 192.168.1.8. Yeah, exactly. So Hungry Jack said, just go get them. But let's do a little bit further now. Let's go a little bit further. You can actually do them further analyze, but this is going to take a little bit more time for good reasons. So you know that you really want to find open ports, but let's do, what's this one? Minus A representative Nmap scan. What is minus capital A minus capital T for? Well, what in the world is a minus capital A flag for? What? I'm trying to find it here. Where is the minus capital A? It's actually really important. Minus capital O is to enable OS detection. The hell is it? Ah, here it is. Minus capital A enables OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and trace route detection. Ooh, this covers like everything for us. And what does minus capital T stands for? What the hell is minus? Ah, here it is. Minus capital T. Set the timing template. Higher is faster. Okay. Okay. But what about, is there a P here? Minus capital P. Here it is. P0. Protocol is IP protocol ping. Okay. What happened if we did this? Okay. what happened if we do Nmap minus capital A 192.168.1.8? It's gonna take some time. Gonna take some time. Come on. Now, what we can do is let this flow run in the background. We can run another tab. We can wait. Shouldn't take that long. Yeah, Ramza, I think you're right. I'm just going to do exactly what you said. Nmap minus capital A minus capital T4, 192.168.1.8. Let's make it go a little bit faster, as what Ramza said. A little bit faster. This is not my freaking network. It's like, this shouldn't take this long. It will get results, though. Don't worry. It's not going to take like forever to get your results back. But on a separate tab, while we're waiting, we can do Nmap 34.72.205.216. Nope, still going. Remember that original target that we had here? 34.72.205.216. Well, still going. It does take some time. I don't think I'll need Wireshark. Let's shut this off. Shouldn't make a difference. I'll stop and quit without saving. There you go. Still going. Still going. Yeah, things up. Things up and running. Still running. Take some time. Hey, okay. Hey. So we got the result back for 34.72.205.216. It only took 43 seconds to do. There it is. And you can see that the target at 34.72.205.216 has an SSH server available, has HTTP. You know what that means. Go to, on a web browser, get http://IP address, and boring. You just get a welcome to Nginx. I haven't set this up yet. Okay, that worked. So there's no HTTPS. It's closed. There's also, I mean, the port 443 is open, is available, but there's nothing there. So who cares? 3389, that's closed. Nothing there. Don't worry about it. So, and the target right now at 34.72.205.216 has only SSH and HTTP available. Alright. Shit, this is still taking a while. 192.168.1.8, yeah. Let it go. Alright. Well, what if I do Nmap minus A minus P0 minus T4 34.72.205.216. Now let's get like what the SSH software version is, what the web software version is. Let's hope we get something back. I'm actually surprised. 192.168.1.8 is on my server. It's on my home, and it shouldn't take this long. I mean, I remember actually doing this exact Nmap scan. What happened if I do P0? Nmap minus A minus P0, 192.168.1.8. Is T4 taking that long? That's weird. I'll just let these go. So, at any rate, it should, one of these, someone's going to win, and it's going to bring back results of software version and also operating systems as well. I don't know which one's going to win. Yes, you can do multiple Nmap scans against a target. Here we go. This is done. Hey, here we go. We got it. Jesus. Minus Nmap minus capital A minus T4 192.168.1.8 finally returns something. Here we go. Port 21, TCP, open, FTP. It uses VSFTPD. Port 22, the SSH server as OpenSSH 8 using 8.4. You can even see the keys as well too. Port 53 is a pie hole for blocking network ads on the server. Port 80, and it uses the web server uses Nginx 1.18. And you can even break down, you can even see like a preview of the snapshot of the home page. You can see certificate information. Oh, here it is, MIDI DLNA. That's a media server. There you go. Look at that. So it took 222 seconds to actually get all these results back. Service info, the operating system is Linux. Not bad. So we got all the information that we need. Now we can do all the list of running software, including any older versions of software. Yeah, the reason why you want to care about older versions of software being used is if you usually see like a really old or like a outdated version, you usually have to Google that stuff. Chances are that the software is riddled with vulnerabilities. There may be a vulnerability that you can use to take advantage or break into the server that way. Okay, if we have the RSA key, can we use that to? Yeah, you absolutely can. Absolutely, you can. Maybe you don't need it though. Maybe you don't need it, Ramza. Yes, I mean, it helps. You could use that to SSH into the target, but usually it's probably much easier than that. All you need to enter in is like some kind of a username and password, and that's it. Now, you have the RSA key. Yeah, you can use that to SSH sometimes into the target IP. You can. Okay, you can. Oh, nope, that's still going to minus P0. Woo! Here it is. We got the software back, the software stuff information back. Well, the results of Nmap minus capital A minus T4 for 34.72.205.216. Yep, there you go. Here's the IP address 216.20. Okay, that's the IP address reverse. That's googleusercontent.com. Port 22 is open. Debian. Okay. OpenSSH 8.4. And Port 80 it runs Nginx 1.18. Am I using 1.18? Yep, that's the latest version. Yep, just installed it today. We don't care about the closed ports of 443 and 3389. We don't care. Operating system, Linux. Yep. So yeah, we got the result back. We got the result back of all the software and the operating system version of this target. 34.72.205.216. Yeah, we got it. Now we've done Nmap with operating system and software detection. I want to actually bring to your attention, so here's the question I have for each and every one of you. Does anyone actually know how Nmap actually works under the hood? Take a guess. Take a guess how Nmap works under the hood. Port scanning techniques. Nmap has a lot of different port scanning options. Now, they have a really good opening paragraph here. It says, as a novice performing automotive repair, I can struggle for hours trying to fit my rudimentary tools to the task at hand. When I fail miserably and tow my jalopy to a real mechanic, he invariably fishes around in a huge tool chest until pulling out the perfect gizmo which makes the job seem effortless. The task of the art of port scanning is similar, okay? Experts understand a dozen of scan techniques and choose the appropriate one or combination for a given task. Inexperienced users and script kiddies, on the other hand, try to solve every problem with the default SYN scan. Okay, so again, here's a reminder. Question, what's a TCP three-way handshake? Give me the TCP three-way handshake as soon as you can. Sync act, there you go. So Kaya, that's how Nmap works. Yep. The sync scan is the default and most popular scan option for good reasons. It can be performed quickly, scanning thousands of ports per second on a fast network not hampered by restrictive firewalls. It is relatively unobtrusive and stealthy since it never completes TCP connections. Okay? Sync scans work against any compliant TCP stack and idiosyncrasies. So here it is. The technique is open. Okay, so here it is. This technique, the default Nmap scan, is often referred to as a half-open scan because you don't do a full TCP connection. You send a sync packet as if you were doing a real connection and then wait for a response. A sync ACK indicates that a port is listening, while an RST, is indicative of a non-listener. Get out of here. If no response is received after several transmission, the port is marked as filtered. So by default, it uses how Nmap works under the hood by default is the SYN sync scan. It's a half open scan. So it does a sync, and you hope to either hear a sync ACK, RST, or nothing. Okay, if you get an RST, that means get out of here. Which now leads to the issue of, I get this question a lot. The question is, can I, if you're doing an Nmap scan against a target, can the target actually tell if you're scanning or not? And the answer is yes. So if you're doing if you're doing scanning using Nmap, an Nmap scan can always be detected on the other side, whoever your target is. So if you want to be a little bit more stealthier, you want to use something else, okay? Well, Nmap, here's the paragraph. Well, Nmap attempts to produce accurate results. Keep in mind, in hindsight, that all of his insights are based on packets returned by that target machine. Such hosts may be untrustworthy and send responses intended to confuse or mislead Nmap. Much more common are the non-RFC compliant hosts that do not respond as a SHORD to Nmap probe. And this is why I want to introduce you to 3 different scans called Fin, Null, and Christmas Tree Xmas scans that are particularly susceptible to this problem. What are they? These 3 scans, TCP, Null, Fin, and Christmas Tree scans, okay, are meant for you to be a little more stealthier. These 3 different types of scans, or even more possible, exploit a subtle loophole in the TCP RFC to differentiate between open and closed ports. If the port state is closed, an incoming segment not containing an RST, I mean a packet does not contain an RST, causes an RST to be sent in response. RST stands for reset. Then on the next page, discuss packets sent to the open port without the sync, RST, or ACK bits, stating that you are unlikely to get here, but if you do, drop the segment and return. Okay? So the key advantage of these types of scans is that they can sneak through certain types of non-stateful firewalls and packet filtering firewalls. Okay? Another advantage is that these scan types are a little bit more stealthy than even a sync scan. Oh, okay, a little bit more stealthier under the hood. That's pretty good. So here's how you do a fin scan. Okay, you have to do sudo. So you have to do sudo nmap minus lowercase s. Let's do a fin scan first. 192.168.1.8. And here you go. You get a similar result, but now it says open and filtered. That's pretty damn good. Okay. Let's do a Christmas tree scan. Not bad, not bad. And you go do a null scan. So fin, null, and Christmas tree scans are a bit more stealthier. But you do have to use sudo for them. Now, how does the packets for fin, null, and Christmas tree scan look under the hood? Let me just do a wget. I'm going to download 3 PCAPs. Christmas tree, null, and fin. Now, how does it look like under the hood? Go to my PCAPs. Fin. There you go. Here's how fin scan looks like. Where it begins is here. Okay. So here I am. The attacker is 192.168.1.218. The target is 192.168.1.215. So 192.168.1.215 is the target. So I'm running an Nmap scan, Nmap minus lowercase s minus capital F, 192.168.1.215. And you notice that the packet sent by Nmap to the target does not contain an ACK or an SYN or RST. Hey, fin packet. Hey, port 199. Hey, port 199. Are you up and running? Oh, you got an RST. Get out of here. That means it's closed. Hey, how about port 443? I'm going to send a fin packet to port 3389. Target says RST. Get out of here. Okay? You do the same thing to port 1723. Fin packet. RST. Get out of here. But what happens if you try to send a fin packet to port 80? No results. Nothing comes back. What happens if you send a packet to port 8080? RST, get out of here. Going back to port 80, you notice that you didn't get an RST back. That means that port 80 will be open or filtered. It also happened for port 22 as well. You send a fin packet to port 22 at 192.168.1.215. You don't get any response back. That means port 22 is open and filtered. You didn't get an RST back. So that means open or filtered for port 22. Nope. Let's open up no scan. Null will mean no flag, no TCP flags. It's no sync so here it is. You're not going to see sync so you're going to see no flags, none. Same idea. If it is a closed port, you get an RST back. But here it is, if you send an RST, you send no flags to port 80, you don't get any response back, no RST back. That means it's open or filtered. Port 22, send no flags to it, you get back nothing. Open filtered. Let's do Christmas tree. Why is it called Christmas tree scan? Because fin, push, urge flags are sent to the target. Same idea. If the target sends you back an RST at the port, that means it's closed. Yeah, port 80. You send fin, push, and urge, or you send a packet, fin, urge, and push to it. Get no response. No RST. Open filtered. Okay, Rose Phoenix. Let's actually go back to the drawing board. What is open and filtered? Let's go back to the documentation, shall we? Open filtered. Here it is. Open or filtered means, here it is. Nmap places port in this state when it is unable to determine whether a port is open or filtered. This occurs for scan types in which open ports give no response. The lack of response could mean that a packet filter dropped the probe or any response it elicits. So Nmap does not know for sure whether the port is open or filtered. So, but here's the thing. You can almost say that it's not 100% open. But open or filtered means with a benefit. I'm gonna say it's open, but we'll give it a benefit. We're gonna give it a benefit of the doubt. Now, this is a good question. So, Rose Phoenix, yes, this is a good review question that you just asked on what does open or filtered mean. This is a great question. Open or filtered means with some, give it some benefit of doubt. We're gonna say it's opened. An open port is no, without a shadow of a doubt, it's open. You can just go and attack it. But the reason why it's open or filtered is because, well, you're dealing with, well, a really odd stealthy scan, which does, like, it takes advantage of a loophole that if you send any packet without SYN, ACK, or RST, you have this behavior where if it's nothing there, it's just going to send you an RST packet back. So open or filtered means, in plain language, we're going to say a benefit of a doubt is open. Think of it that way. Okay? So this is a good question, Rose Phoenix, that you asked. We're going to do one more thing. We're out of time, but let's address this question, better known as geolocation. Can you get the geolocation of the target of a target? And the answer is you can. Now it is my pleasure to introduce you to the world's most dangerous software search engine. We're now actually going to use another tool, but it's going to be web-based. I want to give you not here, CNN Most Dangerous Search Engine. And this was written by my friend John Matherthy, SHODAN. SHODAN is the scariest search engine on the internet. What SHODAN is, okay, SHODAN runs 24/7, collects information on about 500 million connected devices and services each month. So think of it this way. It runs a big port scanning job, every single day, 24/7. And what SHODAN has is think of it as a search engine for anything that's connected to the internet. Dishwashers, baby monitors, traffic lights, security cameras, home automation system, heating system, anything that's connected to the internet. Okay? SHODAN search have found control system for water tank, gas stations, hotel wine coolers, and a crematorium. SHODAN, shodan.org. Oh no, shodan.io, they changed it. Oh, it is. Search for anything. Anything. Search engine for Internet of Everything. SHODAN is the world's first search engine for internet-connected devices. Discover how internet intelligence can help you make better decisions. So I want to talk about pricing first because there is a cost. It's now $69 a month to use SHODAN. However, if you have a .edu email address, you can sign up for not only a free account, but essentially a freelancer account, which is really, really nice. You got to actually create a SHODAN account. We're going to use SHODAN for lab number 2. But you can use SHODAN to do things such as, come on. Oh, I had to log in. Okay. So, explore. You can use SHODAN to look for a job board, Ethereum miners, AirPlay receivers, wind turbines, Minecraft. Here you go. You can even find like Minecraft servers. Explore Minecraft servers. Oh, please log in for filters. So you got to log in, and you can see show Minecraft servers that are open. But really, what you just have to do is, I believe what you could do is you can just type in the IP address and just search. Yep, there you go. Yeah. So I'm not going to log in. I don't want to get into any trouble. By the way, I just want to give you guys a keynote here, a little warning. Sometimes the open port information is not accurate. Last seen on September the 5th. But this server I just created, a target that we've been working with, at 34.72.205.216, I just spun that up today before class. So this information may not be entirely accurate. But as you can see with SHODAN, you can actually see 34.72.205.216. You can see that this is in Council Bluffs. This is in Omaha, Nebraska? There you go. We're at Council Bluffs, Omaha, Nebraska. There you go. I had port 22 open. Well, folks, with that said, to be continued on Tuesday in class. Tuesday and or Wednesday, depending on what section you're in. But next week on Twitch, we're going to do Python and how you spoof IP addresses, namely source IP addresses. That's all I got for today, folks. Take care. It was fun today. Yeah.